Peace, peace. Hey, yo, hey. Kiana here, and we are back with another stream. So we're gonna be reacting to some YouTube content. First video was about Nero knowledge. I'm slightly familiar with him. Like I seen his content on my page. I watched a couple of his videos, and I like what he was talking about. So we're gonna get into one of those, and then I got another one lined up as well. So that's what we on today. I'm over here eating. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know what I'm eating. I made some French toast sliders, and I had used eggs. I haven't eaten eggs in a minute, and it's like a love-hate relationship. It's really more like I don't like eggs. I don't know how to explain it. I don't like eggs, but I feel like I needed it as a filler, if that makes sense. But it's good though. The sandwich is good as shit, but I'm already feeling the eggs not liking me back. So I did make a green smoothie to kind of flush this shit out when I'm done. It's all about balance, all about balance. So you all see me chomping down. That's what's going on. I'm gonna mute myself, and I'm going to share screen, and we're gonna get into this one. It's called "How to Stay Connected to Your Desired Reality Permanently."
Important that you understand the ways that you are unconsciously already disconnecting yourself from the Wi-Fi connection of your desired reality. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you a multitude of points that allow for you to stay connected to your desired reality, no matter what happens in life, no matter if things go wrong, no matter if there's a setback, no matter if adversity strikes, no matter if you fall off frequency, so on and so forth. Because in my opinion, a large majority of the content surrounding manifestation is only predicated upon creating but not maintaining. And that's, I guess, the second part, right? Because if you can create your desired reality, then it's about your ability to maintain it and stay connected to it. Because like I said, throughout the adversity of life has a way when things go wrong, we lose connections. When things don't go the way that we want them to, we lose connections. And the more that you continuously lose connection, unfortunately, the weaker the signal that you emit to the universe, because you have to understand frequency in of itself is like an energy signature that the universe corresponds to with a particular reality. And so long as your signal is clear and strong, then the more connected you are towards your desired reality, then, like I said, the more of a chance it has materializing into existence. And this is quite literally what I'm hired by 79-figure entrepreneurs, Hollywood actors, and professional athletes to help them do. I literally just help them stay connected to their desired reality. So I'll be giving you everything that I give to my clients in this video. So as usual, make sure you take notes and leave them in the comments. And with that being said, let's get into it. But this makes sense, innit, AJ?
Yeah. Maybe you should have like a backup 4G, 5G signal, so like you never lose connection. And
do you know what?
Yeah.
It's connection. Do you know what it is? I did that. You just can't see it. Because it's open to interpretation. You know what I'm saying? But yes, like I said, most of the content surrounding manifestation, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the basics, right? Think from the end, feel from the end, visualization, affirmation, scripting, so on and so forth. But then no one really gives you the way on how to maneuver when things don't go the way that you expect. And typically, unfortunately, that's where most people fail. I always say, me and my clients always have a running joke. They always say, getting results with Nero is fairly easy. Materializing what you want is actually easy. The difficult part is about your ability to stay connected to your frequency, because like I said, we go through life, innit? And when we go through life, it just has a way of making us forget. Sometimes you forget the spiritual shit. And you come back to it, you're like, damn, I really slipped up in that moment in time. But if you can remember these points, oops, sorry, are you doom scrolling?
No,
in class.
No.
That's it. No, that's it.
So what happened?
That's detention.
I went to open
15 hours.
I went to open my phone to go to the frequency app.
Okay.
But I was, intertwined with my old frequency that's used to doom scrolling. So he kind of took over there. But I'm working on it using the frequency app.
Yeah, it's too late, nigga. You got detention 15 hours.
And using my complimentary what do you call it? Whatever.
Yeah, wrap it up. Wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up. Now, like I said, the basics of manifestation, I'm sure they're things you're familiar with, but I'll give you a simple basic spiel, which will probably be better than the information you're used to out here, because the information that you're used to, unfortunately, doesn't lead anywhere. And I say this as somebody who's actually paid a lot to get people results. So believe the things that I'm saying to you. Just because you're watching this video for free, nigga, don't take it for granted, because unfortunately, it's part of human nature to take the things that come easy to us for granted. But I mean everything that I'm saying, and what I'm saying is stuff that you have to remember throughout, because as I'm saying the things that I'm about to say, you're going to be like, you know what, that happened to me, or I began to slip in that manner, or okay, that gave me awareness for this. So basic manifestation spiel. Manifestation is internally shifting to a degree to which you're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. When you're good with it and you're good without it. That I guess, what would it, definition has 2-3 parts to it. Internally shifting. Most people think manifestation is about changing reality. No, it's about changing yourself, because once you change yourself, reality has no choice but to change, because you and your universe are exactly the same thing. You are one. You're not separate things. Most people have this unfortunate tendency to see themselves separated from reality, and that's
This nigga is spitting. I gotta watch more of his content. Like, he done made like 30 good points in 5 minutes.
nothing more due to the fact than falling for the illusion of duality. And then when you fall into duality, you enter a state of separation. When you enter separation, you enter what is truly hell. See, most people say, if you ask the most religious people, they say that hell is eternal separation from God. But that's nonsensical, because simultaneously they'll tell you that God is omnipresent. So you can't actually be separated from God. But esoterically, if we're looking at it esoterically and metaphysically, separation from God is misalignment from the infinite intelligence. When you're aligned with the infinite intelligence, you see everything in a state of oneness. And when you don't, that means you're separated, which means you have no choice but to descend into hell. And hell simultaneously, if we look at Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Seek first the kingdom. Unfortunately, when it comes to manifestation, people focus on not seeking the kingdom of heaven, but they focus on seeking the kingdom of hell. And hell can be nothing more than equated to seeking the materiality of what it is that you desire. You think it's about the money. You think it's about the business. You think it's about the person. You think it's about the career promotion. You think it's about the job. It's not about those things. Hence why a manifestation is internally shifting to such a point that you don't care for what's happening outside of you. And I say that to say, because the physical plane, what you call reality, the world around you is an illusion. We only see 0.0035% of what actually exists, due to visible light being a tiny portion of the entire electromagnetic spectrum, which means even what you're seeing is a very tiny fraction of reality. We see a tiny fraction of reality and we attribute it more precedence or importance as opposed to the thing that is reflecting, which is us.
I feel like that's what makes manifestation hard, in a sense, is the fact that you kind of have to disregard what's going on around you. You have to detach from what you see, the physical world, the physical realm, as you just explained, and that includes friends, families, people's perceptions. Like, you kind of, it can come off as cold. It can come off as it can come off in a lot of ways that some people deem negative. But at the end of the day, it's a certain understanding that you have with self, as far as like knowing who you are, knowing that nothing is separate from anything else, and knowing that everything is all connected by the fabric of oneness of God, of love, and allowing that knowing to push you more into alignment. I feel like, and when I was about to say something else, I forgot.
You're more focused on the mirror reflection than the individual standing in the mirror. Hence why you also have to understand, you have to be it before the world proves it to you. If you want a certain amount in your business, you have to be it before the world proves it to you. If you want to be in a relationship.
That's why validation is such a crazy thing, because it's not that you don't care about what people think or say or how they perceive you, because we're human. But at the end of the day, it's like, not too much, because I know who I am. And the more that I fall into that knowing, the more I am what I say I am, in the words of Eminem. Because if I wasn't, why the fuck would I say I am? And you can look at that both ways too. If you keep calling yourself something that you truly do not want to be, stop saying that shit.
You have to be it before the world proves it to you. Because here's the thing, everybody talks about believing in yourself. What's the first 2 letters of the word believe? Be. Because it's about your state of being. You can't believe unless you're being. And this is what you have to come to a recognition of. Hence why you can only have what you already have. You need to transcend the idea that you're separated from what it is that you want to already.
This is what I be saying all the time when it comes to like things like destiny swapping. Like, I low-key I get it, I understand it, and I know that anything is possible, which is the reason that it's like I'm not just gonna completely write it off. But at the same time, I also believe like you can only have what you have. Like if it's mine, it's mine. How the fuck you gonna take it? I don't think it works like that. Not in my world.
Begin to embody the state, the thought patterns, the emotions, the perceptions, the expectations, the reactions of the individual who already has what it is that you want, and mentally declare that you are already them. Now, of course, I have a multitude of other videos on that, but that's a nice simplistic spiel for you niggas that are here for the first time. Welcome. You're probably very shocked at this point, but hello, it's a pleasure to have you here. And for the regulars, it's good to see you again. Now, with that being said, let's get into how to stay connected to your desired reality permanently until it really materializes into existence. Like I said, take notes, make sure you leave them in the comments as usual. Let's go with purple.
Okay, let's go.
The Masters of Science in
You must
Finance
know I'm in the
program
room.
heard about something. It's
Purple.
tailor-made to provide students that
What was that?
It was just a Dre bar, I remember. Can't remember the lines afterwards though.
You've thrown me off.
Sorry. Stay connected, bro.
I see what you did there. Let me take black. In fact, I'll just take purple. Okay. Into
While you're doing that, someone said this is so refreshing. Your channel in general,
You start reading again.
it just didn't make sense.
Remember, guys, AJ really struggles to read.
She put a full stop. It should have just been a comma. Anyway,
Oh, now you're an English teacher.
anyway, I'm actually tired of having to eat the meat and spit out the bones with other spiritual teachers.
What?
Pause.
Did I? I don't think I'm
Pause.
following.
I think I was reading it. I was just like, what do you mean?
Is purple dying? Switch to another.
Aren't those pins neat?
Yeah, that's the instance.
Crazy. The whole you can't eat, drink, listen to Future and be spiritual dogma is quite exhausting
Very exhausting.
and distracts from what they're actually teaching. Thank you for being out loud about this AP. What's this? AP?
I think the other one's bad.
I like that comment too. I feel like that's the world making shit so much harder than it has to be. Like, oh, you can't be spiritual and gangster. You can't pray and curse. You can't, like, what the fuck? God created all of it, so why I can't do all of it? Because you said so? Because you don't like it? Just say that. Like, we'll get a lot further in life if people stop trying to make things seem right or wrong and realize that that's just your preference.
About out loud about this AP and teaching manifestation without projecting your own views of morality. You're appreciated always.
Oh yeah, of course, because typically people have the unfortunate tendency spiritually to think spiritually means good. Hence why if you see most spiritual people, they're playing to an archetype of love and light without realizing that everything exists in duality. So if you niggas say love and light, then it's also hate and dark. But no, you don't want to say that because you're playing to a particular archetype of what you deem to be spiritual, which typically is just a colonized form of spirituality with the namastes and treating everyone nice and so on and so forth. But spirituality actually has nothing to do with morality. In fact, spirituality transcends morality, unfortunately, because morality is nothing more than a societal construct, and the universe doesn't adhere to morality. The universe is immoral, it's mechanical, hence why the energies of the universe don't discriminate. Water isn't going to be like, I can't drown this nigga.
And that's why I feel like I personally, not to exempt myself from the rest of humanity, but I would just say I don't like that. I don't want that around me. I don't fuck with that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not, like, who am I? But I know what I like. I know what I prefer. So I think communicating in that sense of authenticity makes a big, big difference. Because how uncomfortable is that to keep feeling like you're wrong for who you are or what you choose to like or what you choose to do? Nobody's
Because he's a good person.
I'm trying to clean off my laptop. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's right. It's just what's right for you. I don't try to convince or conform or convert nobody to nothing I got going on. But I'll be here doing it. You're always welcome to join.
can't burn this person because, you know, he helped that lady cross the road. And somebody that falls to the ground, even if it's not their fault, the universe isn't going to send an angel to catch them. So we have to get out this infantile state of consciousness, thinking that the universe is some type of, yeah, I don't know. But what she said is very, very true. I don't play to any of those archetypes. Hence why probably the first time that anybody sees me, they're actually very, very shocked. Very shocked. Cause if you want your mouth to brag about a secret rendezvous, I will hunt you down. Cause they be when they love you, but this is private.
So you and I
Touch my body. Cool. So, the first thing that you have to remember if you want to stay connected to your desired reality permanently is one thing that is unfortunately a mistake that you all make, a mistake that we all make, unfortunately, and that is stop interpreting everything. Stop interpreting everything, or more importantly, stop interpreting fluctuation
Why you do that?
internally or externally as a thing. Stop interpreting everything, or more importantly, stop interpreting fluctuation internally or externally as a sign of something going wrong. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Now, typically, when we get into the realm of spirituality, we enter a state of egotistical spirituality where we believe now, because we hold the infinity stones of the universe, we possess the keys to the heavens and every plane of existence, that we should never ever feel any particular form of lower vibrational emotion. Now you have to understand one thing. In the Hermetic tradition,
I feel like the low is literally like high is built on top of low. If there were no low, there would be no high. That's like, because high sits on top of low. Anything higher than something else is sitting above on top of something else. So you can't have one without the other. And actually, low is what fuels and creates high. So it's all necessary. Nothing's good or bad. And it's the consciousness, like he's talking about, being constantly connected to the idea of oneness and knowing that this is all a part of the process. Like my cousin just said on the phone, what's that quote? Like, even the steps backwards are a part of the dance. All of that type of, like, it just is. Like, we don't have to put so much on it. Like, it just is. This is just what's happening. It don't have to be so fucking devastating. Sometimes shit is devastating, but I feel like we don't have to, like, put so much energy into it, put so much on it. And he about to explain it in a lot better words. So let me just listen to what he about to say.
and in a book called The Kabbalion, there's a
Love the Kabbalion. I got the audio book.
law called the law of rhythm, which basically stipulates the fact that there's highs and lows in life, and this is the nature of the universe. But for whatever reason, I think the egotism in spirituality gives us this idea that we should be above the universe. No, you can't be above the universe. You are one with the universe. You are a literal walking universe, which means the laws of the universe are quite literally binded to you, and you're bound by them. And one thing that people often do that fucks up their desired reality, unfortunately, is this notion of interpreting any sign of fluctuation internally or externally as a sign of something going wrong, because in your head you have this idea that now, because you possess the keys to the universe, you should never have a fucking bad day, which is nonsensical. Because whether you realize this or not, you have idolized your desired reality to such a degree that you think your desired reality would be a state of heaven where everything would be good and you'd never have any problems. Well, that is very far from the fucking truth, because the truth of the matter is your desired reality would be normal. You'd still have bad days. Things would still go wrong. But due to this idealized version of your desired reality, you've actually created a form of importance, and importance is interpreted by the universe as a form of energetic space. And because you have this idealized version of your desired reality, you perceive it as heaven instead of earth. That is why it doesn't come to you. Don't let that go over your head. Now, like I said,
So basically saying like you're driving a wedge between yourself and your desires when you give your desires so much importance, when you give it so much energy of what I want is so much better than what I have. You're literally actively creating a wedge between what you want.
that we interpret signs of fluctuation as a sign of something going wrong. We wake up one day, we have a low mood, and we're like, fuck. Yeah, I hope I'm not messing up my manifestation. I don't feel euphoric. I don't feel like I'm on crack today. You know, I think something's going wrong. Because you woke up feeling low. Now something's gone wrong. Or you have an intrusive thought. And then you think to yourself, oh, I wouldn't be thinking this if I was in my desired reality. Now I'm having this intrusive thought. This has to be a sign of something going wrong.
I'm guilty of that when I feel like I'm freshly coming out of that, because I used to be like, no, like, why am I thinking like this? No, that means, but it's normal, it's regular, it's feelings, it's emotions. Like, it's the nature, the language of the universe.
Or you have self-doubt, or you overthink. And then you think to yourself, oh my God, this is a sign of something going wrong.
Yes, I feel that.
Do you know what the irony?
Because I used to be, wait, before you even get into it, I'm going to stop pausing it. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm going to keep posting it. But whenever I get into those modes of, whenever I used to get into the modes of self-doubt and overthinking, it would come with my ego feeling bad and exactly what you're talking about, like feeling like this is wrong, essentially. But now I just look at it as this is what is happening because of whatever caused it. Another law I talked about in the Kabbalah, and I forget what number it is, but the law of cause and effect. Every action has a reaction. Every reaction was caused by an action. So if I'm overthinking, it's because of something. So find the root of that and analyze it. Don't demonize it as right or wrong, but just understand it. Understanding is so underrated because we like to have control over things and we like to just know shit, but understanding is essentially a state of heaven. Like, if I get it, it's cool. It's okay. I understand. It brings me so much. I think solace is the word. Let me look it up. Because there is no right or wrong. So I don't be feeling the need to push anything into a black or a white, a right or wrong category. But if I can get it, if I understand it, I'm cool. And sometimes I gotta be okay with not understanding shit. Because that's life too. But that's when my mind and my ego kick in, like, this shit gotta make some type of sense. Solace refers to comfort. Solace refers to comfort or a consolation you feel in times of distress, sadness, or misfortune. So yeah, understanding definitely brings me solace.
The irony of it is that you create the laws of your universe. There are a few truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. Wait, there are few truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. There are few truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true, meaning you make the laws of your reality. And if you make the laws of your reality, then you are binded by whatever you deem to be true, because whatever you deem to be true will be experienced and then you will call it truth. What we call truths as humanity, as the collective consciousness, is often just the materialization of ideas. There are a few truths in reality. They're just masks. The ideas wearing the masks of a truth. They're like, hey, I'm a truth. But really and truly, it's an idea we manifest and then we say it's true because we can see it. But what we can see is dependent upon our frequency. So what is the worth of a truth if you don't examine the frequency that it came from? And that's a bar, write that down. One thing that you have to understand is that once you interpret fluctuation, which bear in mind, rhythm is a law of the universe. There are highs and lows.
Oh my God,
when you interpret the nature of the universe wrong, then you say the nature of reality is wrong. And if wrong and the nature of reality are interlinked, then the nature of your reality will be nothing but wrong. Not because it's wrong,
because you said it is,
but because you've interpreted it and decided that it's wrong. You have that low mood.
Today, the 17th?
Maybe you don't feel 10 out of 10, but then you're like, messing up my fucking frequency. Did all that meditation and, you know, so I'm still sad. Don't feel good today. Guess I'm not doing it right. Guess it's not working. You interpret the smallest sign of fluctuation as an indication of something's wrong. Then when your subconscious mind reinforces the idea that that particular degree of fluctuation is wrong, what you don't realize is that you've just dictated that the nature of the universe is wrong. So don't be surprised when the nature of your universe is wrong. How could you possibly stay?
This is why I decided to major in psychology. I'm saying it like I knew that at the time. I didn't know that at the time, but like hindsight is 2020. Because I started out in computer science in the technical field because that's what was going to make my money back. But then I'm like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. This is too much. It's not in alignment with me. But psychology, I love psychology. Like learning about how the brain works, one of our most powerful assets as human beings. And the more that I learned, even after graduating, inside of school and outside of school, self-study, is the power of your mind. Like God literally gave us this creative tool to create whatever the fuck we choose. And there are systems that don't want the everyday person to tap into that energy because they wouldn't benefit from that. They benefit from controlling you. They don't want you to be in control of yourself. Understood. So it just makes sense to me to put all of my time and energy into doing exactly what the fuck they told me not to do. Because you're not my God. God is my God. But the power of the mind, like you can literally create whatever you choose to create. So let's get choosy. Let's get active in choosing the realities that we want to create for ourselves. Okay, and we're going to tap into this inside the Patreon, which is launching on the 21st. Don't forget. Until then, make sure you follow on Twitch. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on all the platforms. If you see me, don't be afraid to say hi. I comment back. I respond. It's all love, always. And we're going to get back into it.
Connected towards your desired reality. When you disconnect yourself on the basis in the idea that fluctuation internally is wrong. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Because let me let you in on a little secret. Let me tell you something. You're not gonna feel good all the time.
I had to learn.
You're not gonna feel good all the time, even if you materialize the relationship.
Because I really did used to think that. Like I used to think that I was working towards a state of ultimate and eternal happiness. And then I had to realize that was exactly what he just explained a couple of minutes ago, a false reality that I was creating. And essentially you can have that. You can have that. It will just be being ignorant and oblivious all the time. You definitely can have that. But that would, like, the negative outcomes of doing that is that you forcing yourself to be ignorant, you forcing yourself to be oblivious, you're forcing yourself to actively go against certain realities in order to make yours seem real, which is what we're doing in any case. So I guess it's just about which reality you align most with. And at the time, that was the reality that I most aligned with. And I'm glad that I'm still glowing, still growing. And now I'm knowing that fucking being happy all the time. Like, that's not the most important thing to me anymore. The most important thing to me is being my authentic self, being constantly aware of oneness of God in my life and in everything else in life, being in my most powerful energy, which is the energy of alignment, which will allow me to manifest whatever I need to in that moment, which may be happiness, it may be anger, it may be relationships, it may be money, it may be whatever it is. I have the power to manifest it in that moment.
That you want, even if you materialize the promotion that you want, even if you materialize the job that you want, even if you materialize the point in your business that you want, you're not going to feel good all the time. But the spiritual ego makes you think that now, because you possess the keys to the fucking universe, you should never ever be sad in your life again. So then when you have a low mood, you then take that low mood and you magnify it and you make it more of a problem than it actually is? What if a low mood isn't a problem until you say it's a problem? Then how many times have you destroyed your frequency without realizing, with the idea and the interpretation of adding meaning to something that really has no meaning? Few things have meaning in reality. I mean, typically, you have to understand that as we transcend the third dimensional realm, there is no separation. So everything's in a state of oneness. The meaning that we attribute to things comes with an underlying degree of emotion. When we give things a label, labels come with meaning. Meanings always have emotion. So when you say wrong as a label, that comes with a particular meaning. Wrong comes with a particular emotion. When something is wrong, how do you feel? Disappointed, demoralized, diminished, depressed. And then instantly, that emotion is an energy emotion. That energy emotion emits a vibration. That vibration compounds into cycles, becomes a frequency. And frequency is nothing more than immaterialized reality. And reality is materialized frequency. Frequency and reality are like steam and ice. Same energy, just different rate of vibration.
What can a no fee, no minimum Capital One 360 checking account do for you?
Capital One banking? A lot.
Bank and sip at any Capital One cafe.
You have an intrusive thought because you don't think your mind is 10 out of 10 all the time in your desired reality. You get one thought that says, yeah, but what if it doesn't work? He says, yeah, but what if it doesn't go right? And now you take that intrusive thought and now you've blown it out of proportion and you've made it worse than it actually is. And then once you begin to interpret it as something wrong, guess what you do? You create it to be something wrong. Is it because it's wrong?
No.
Is it because you've decided it's wrong?
Yes, it's whatever your brain, whatever you tell your mind that it is. A lot of times we look at imagination as something to play with, but the whole time that's actually where your power lies. And of course, the world that we live in, they're going to make everything that's beneficial and conducive to you seem like it don't mean nothing. And everything that's not seem like it means everything, i.e. the news, i.e. public education systems, i.e. the workforce, i.e. world wars and all of this other shit. Because they want to harness your energy and your attention. So if all your energy and your attention is there and you're stressed and you're depleted, then you have no time and energy to go within and actually build your world through your mind's eye, which is all connected. It's all the same thing because everything is energy. He's spitting. He's spitting.
Mm-hmm. And then guess what? When your subconscious mind decides that it's wrong, guess how you begin to experience reality? You begin to distort the world that you live in, predicated upon the idea of it being wrong. And then when it's wrong, your hard work. Yeah.
And because I was just in that space probably like a couple days ago, like a week ago, where it's just like that's such a suffocating space to be in. That's why meditation and mindfulness is important too, because you get to learn what feels good to your mind and what feels good to your body, and you learn to recognize those patterns and how not to keep placing yourself in those harming positions, whether it's physical or emotional or mental. And just reflecting on how it felt like physically in my body, it felt so enraging, like literally could feel like I could burst into, I felt like lava girl. Like, and then mentally it felt like jail, like being in a prison cell, like literally just running back and forth in a little ass box. It was so limiting because I'm in a mindset of this is wrong, this is wrong, this isn't how it's supposed to be, and that gives you no room for anything else. And not to say that that's a bad thing. That was something that happened, that had to happen in order for me to be where I am at this moment, 333 on the clock. This is good. This is really allowing me to be reflective. And if you're watching this in post, definitely, take notes. Like he said, take notes because I'm taking notes. And talk about any experiences that you've had with this information with this idea of right or wrong, or just with yourself mentally, spiritually, that relates to this? Because I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah, the inner work that you've been doing, or the meditation, or the visualization, or the scripting, or the affirmations, all of that gets put in the fucking bin. Or the garbage. And that's internally. And we do it also externally. I can't tell you the amount of times I'll get on a call with a client, things are going good, and then there's a setback, and they're like, I've just, it's not working, something's got to be going wrong, Hold on. Remember, we often disconnect from our desired reality by interpreting a sign of fluctuation as a sign of something wrong. People experience a setback or a delay, or things may not unfold in a manner that they want. And then the first thing that they do is say, this work isn't, it's not working. This work ain't working. It's not going right. I must be doing something wrong. Now, I must not have done it properly. And then guess what? Each one of those statements, I must not have done it right, diminishes your conviction. It diminishes your conviction, and your conviction is what activates your knowledge. So now your knowledge isn't even worth anything because your conviction has been diminished on the basis that you have now interpreted what's happening outside of you as a reflection of some type of inadequacy within you.
That was a little bit conflicting because, right, I feel like the brain is made to think, so you're going to analyze and be analytical about certain things. Like if you're working towards something, you have a specific goal in mind and you're taking these specified steps to reach that goal, then there comes a point like if you take one of those steps and it doesn't produce an outcome that gets you closer to the next step or closer to that goal, where you're going to ask that question and analyze, well, what did I do wrong? So what he's saying is it's not what did I do wrong, but it's just reflecting on what you did and seeing what came out of that, and that's going to guide you into the next step, because it's not necessarily right or wrong, but when you analyze what you did and what came out of it, that might cause the next step to be changed, or that might cause the end goal that you were once working towards to be shifted. So not looking at it in a right or wrong thing, like what did I do wrong, but just being more open to what the universe is trying to teach you. Got you.
And then when you have inadequacy within you, guess what happens when that's reflected outside of you? Inadequacy continues.
So, really private entrance. Entertainment center / spice rack.
You have a delay. You're like, it was supposed to happen, but it hasn't come yet. This is terrible. And we typically end up actually messing things. None of these are a problem. Fluctuations actually aren't a problem. Because you have to understand, you're going to go through a stabilization period. And stabilization is way better. Because think about it like this. If you ever watch a frequency, like a graph or of a frequency, this is what it typically looks like. It looks like this, look. And then eventually, as it's beginning to stabilize, then it stabilizes. But you're interpreting part of the natural process of the universe as something wrong. So naturally, your reality is going to be fucked. That's what it is. That's what it is. So the first thing that you have to do is stop attributing a meaning to a reality or to the fluctuations of reality when it doesn't serve you. Because listen to what I said when I say stabilization. You see this? You understand this. You understand that when things are stabilizing, a new frequency stabilizing, it slows down like this. And then eventually it stabilizes. You understand that. So then why don't you take that same concept and extrapolate it now to the materialization of your desired reality? Because that's normal, isn't it? It's part of the process. That's how it goes. But if it's part of the process and you're demonizing the process as it's unfolding, how could you ever expect to be in a reality that you want if, as reality is attempting to get you to where you want it to be, you're now, this is going wrong, this is going wrong, this is going wrong. Then remember what I said. Remember what I said. There are few truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. So the moment that you then begin to say, you know what? It's fluctuation. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. You end up
I feel like the only truth that I hold on to is the fact that there's only one source that created all, and the source is present in everything that exists, meaning that everything is connected to oneness and love, and that oneness and love are synonymous. I really feel like that's the only thing that I know for sure. And the lesson of love is one that I have had to learn in different aspects, different experiences over and over and over, and will always have to and will constantly learn more about because the only constant is change. But as far as that standard and that basis, that's the only truth that I really hold on to right now. There's only one God. God is love. And we're all connected. Everything is connected. That's all I know.
Railing all the internal work you've done. I can't stress the importance of this enough. You have to stop interpreting every fluctuation as a sign of something going wrong. Because this is one thing that we all do. Every single one of you watching this video, myself included, because you niggas seem to think that I'm some type of spiritual master, spiritual God. No, God is the teacher. We're all in the classroom.
That part, I hate that energy of like, oh, you're supposed to be there. I'm not the shit. I'm learning. And I just decided to open up a space that we all can learn together. It's a community effort.
may just know some answers that you don't, but I'm sharing my answers with the class. It's nothing more than that. We all do this, all of us. We think to ourselves, fluctuations, oh, man, it's got to be wrong. But no, not at all. What if that's part of the process? See, if you was on a boat and the boat was rocking to get to your destination, would you be like, oh my God, we're about to shipwreck? Does that make any sense?
I hate that energy. Like, I'd be like, oh, get away from me with all that panicky ass shit. Like, because energy is contagious. And if it's not good, don't put it out. Just hold on to it until you transmute it. And then, I'm saying, cool, but don't be that, like, don't be, that's dangerous. That's cancerous. Like Tabitha Brown said, if you can't have a good day, don't go messing up nobody else's. It's just that simple. Nobody gonna have a good day all the time. But when you decide to use that as an excuse to start fucking up other people's day, that's weird. It's cancerous.
AJ, does that make sense?
No.
If a boat's rocking while you're on the path to your destiny or destination, what is that?
Because then imagine if that one person start panicking,
Just
somebody else is, then the whole boat won't be in panic. And then guess what? All your
just the
energy.
water in it. Just
Exactly. It's just normal. That's what it is. It's just that.
That's what's supposed to
When you're on that boat and the boat's like this, are you going to be like, oh my God, we're going to die. This is it. This is it.
some people do that though.
Exactly. And that's
It's like in
non
the plane and turbulence.
plane and turbulence. Same thing. Plane and turbulence.
Because it's like at the end of the day,
keep that in mind.
Like the plane and the turbulence thing, right? What can you do? We all on this plane, however many feet up in the sky, it's turbulence going on. What can you do besides sit down and shut up and give off good vibes, pray and give off good energy? What is panicking doing? That's just spreading bad energy. I don't get that. I mean, I get it because we're human, but yeah.
The journey towards your desired reality is like being in a plane or a boat. There's going to be waves, right? And the boat's going to rock. The boat rocking isn't an indication of something going wrong until you then say it's going wrong. Because guess what? When the captain is like, oh my God, these waves are crazy, something's going wrong, then you enter a state of panic. When you enter a state of panic, you lock yourself out of your subconscious mind and you force your brain to...
I just peeped like a little flaw in my thinking, which is like, what can you do type of thinking, because you can be in tune with the universe at a greater scale and actively put out positive vibes and put out positive energy and know that that is going to create a positive response. Every action has a reaction, right? So as you said a few minutes ago, when you think about the source of the truth or the source of whatever it is, the intention, like, that plays a great aspect in it. So say you're on a plane and y'all experiencing turbulence. If you got 3 people that's panicking and putting out bad vibes, that could potentially put the whole plane in panic and then make the pilot even more nervous, and now the plane will crash, possibly. On the other hand, if you have everybody on a plane actively putting out good, positive energy, positive vibes, which from a place of like authentic, genuine love and care, not in an artificial manner of like, how do I describe it? Because like essentially you don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not saying like just act like nothing's happening, it's going to be fine. But know that you are powerful. Know that you are a God in your own right, and that if you put out positive vibes and positive energy, you have the potential to make things go better, and vice versa. I think that's the moral of what I'm trying to say. We're gonna let him explain it though, because he does a better job.
Produce beat waves, which is your conscious brain, and then you're locked away from the infinite, which is your subconscious mind. It's like being in a plane. You're flying there. Guess what? It might go a bit. I'm not saying nothing crazy. I'm not saying nothing crazy. One of my boys, shout out Ash, he was telling me how one time he was on a plane and there was so much turbulence that they made niggas sign forms about contacting your loved ones. Yo, if that was me,
I'll be too shook to get back on the plane, bro. Like,
see, now my heart is in my ass. See, at that stage, I feel like that stage, that's when it gets shaky. Like, that's when it gets shaky, and it's understandable that whatever happens, happens. Now, I would like to think that I would just, like, calmly transition into whatever stage or state that is, whether it be death, whether it be, you know what I'm saying? I would like to think in my mind that I would stay calm and I would just accept my fate. Who knows? Who knows? That would be crazy.
I don't even have a problem with planes. But once again, to emphasize my point, as AJ beautifully said, that's what it is. And that's all it is for you. But see, in your head, there should be no rocking. In your head, there should be no turbulence. Now imagine you say to somebody that you're going to go on a boat and there should be no rocking. Imagine going to someone and saying, you're going to be in a plane, but there's going to be no turbulence. I don't want to get on a plane with turbulence, and you're never going to fucking fly. Extrapolate that towards your desired reality. Stop interpreting every little rock as something bad. Because it's not. It's just part of the journey. And it's not a problem until you say it's a problem. Oftentimes, we magnify problems through our perception of them being a problem. When we begin to perceive something as a problem, your perception equates to your projection, and you end up altering the vibration of things to such a degree that then it becomes a problem. You're just on the path. It is what it is. But then when you say, oh my God, it's a problem, you then make the boat say, all right, cool, let's shipwreck. You say the plane, let's just go. It's not a problem until you say it's a problem. Extrapolate that towards your desired reality. So if things are a bit shaky, your first instinct, remember, you can't control your first thought, but you can control your second thought. That's a bar, write that down. Your first thought is going to be panic, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But then simultaneously, I need to explain to you a bit of evolutionary psychology. You see, as humans, there's a part of our brain called the amygdala. The amygdala is known as the region of your brain in combination with the basal ganglia that's responsible for flight or flight. It's your survival. In caveman days, let me tell you what would happen. You be picking berries in the bush thinking, yo, I'm about to eat good, I'm about to eat good. You'd hear it in the bush. Now, your amygdala does one thing. It exaggerates and magnifies that sound to make it a real problem to your head, so you don't even take the fucking chance of it. Because let's say your amygdala didn't do that. Let's say you're just eating berries in the bush, you hear and you're like, it's whatever. Your lunch of a saber-toothed tiger, your lunch is over for you because you didn't take the problem serious. But then the issue is there's going to be instances where you're picking berries out of the bush and you run away and it was a rabbit. It was nothing major. So your mind's first instinct, your brain's first instinct is going to be to exaggerate the problem. Think about it. Can you imagine the amount of times you're lying in bed at night? You hear that, you know you left the washing machine on. You think to yourself, oh my God, there's robbers in here. I'm finished. They're broken in. They're about to skin me alive. It's about to be long, man. How many times does our mind begin to over-exaggerate a problem when it's not a problem? Stop interpreting the fluctuations internally and externally as a sign of something going wrong, because through your perception that is wrong, you project and end up creating it to be wrong without realizing that it's just part of the nature of reality. It's part of the universal rhythm. The boat rocks on the journey to its destination.
I think the scary part of this is like, how far are we going to take it though? Like, yes, your mind does create your reality. So let's go with the tiger in the bush analogy, because I'm somebody, I like to go outside, I like to do parks and stuff like that, but I'm not like really into the rodents, the insects, the things that inhabit the places that I willingly take myself to. So I'm working on it, but sometimes I'll be in the park and I hear a little rustle and I'm immediately going the other way. Now, sometimes I'll push through and I'll push past, and in those cases, I've been completely fucking fine. So I understand. But hypothetically, in the situation, right? You in the park, you in the woods, you hear a rustle. Your first thought, because your brain's first priority is to protect you. Hence evolution. So let's say you ignore that first thought and you like, no, it's cool, it's fine, there's no problem. You keep going, and it is a fucking tiger. How far do you go? Do you then, like, if you're in the situation to where, oh my gosh, it's like, damn, the brain is such a rabbit hole, because it's like, okay, if it is a tiger, then you're now in a situation where you're in whatever situation you create. One situation could be that you have to escape now, and then you could do that. Another situation could be that you don't have to escape, and then you don't have to escape. I could see the situation going differently. Like, maybe the tiger leaves you because you didn't leave, or maybe you befriend the tiger. That's a reality as well. And another reality is that you believe that you can't escape, and you believe that you're food, and then you become food. So I guess that's the answer. But again, I was about to say who knows, but that's the answer.
Plane has turbulence. That's okay. It's not a problem until you say it's a problem.
And going off of that, it's like, you see how reality literally is so dynamic and ever changing and ever shifting, just based off of your mind, based off of your thoughts. Like, how you perceive the situation is going to create what happens next. That is like, you're literally an author. You're literally the creator of your life. Like that is wild. That is wild. That's amazing.
Cause it's my night, no stress, no rise. I'm leaving it all behind. No tears, no tears.
Someone said I can't recommend the app enough. 3 to 4 years ago, I had an idea of a way to utilize AI to act as a coach / therapist, but I was in the thick of an abusive relationship, grieving 6 deaths in 4.5 years, including my stepdaughter's suicide. So I knew I couldn't do anything with the idea. I told the universe, please drop the idea into the minds of the right person or people who could and would bring it to life. I'm convinced frequency is exactly that, and I'm so grateful.
And for those of you
Far
that
better
probably thinking what is she referring to, last weekend I released my app. Well, I don't know when you're going to be seeing this, but anyways, on the 16th of May, I released an app called Frequency. Frequency is essentially where you define the version of you that already has what it is that you want, and they coach you and guide you every day until you literally become that person. I think when it comes to manifestation, most people's problem isn't information. You don't need more information. You need consistency. Consistency in your identity, consistency in your frequency. And that's the number one problem that the app solves. Like I said, there's multiple features of it. In 72 hours, we had over 14,000 downloads, and people are having crazy synchronicities, crazy quick manifestations, and it's amazing to see. That's what she's referring to. So link in the description.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44.
Bitch. Now, see, had I would have stuck with my computer science major and literally broke my brain, which is just stretching your brain so it can grow, but still, that shit was hard to learn how to create websites and apps and shit. And now they got stuff like that where anybody off the street could just go make an app, bro. I would have been pissed. Because who gonna pay me $100,000 to go make a website when they can make it by themselves now?
It's time for me to chime in.
Uh-oh.
AJ, you're killing me, bro. I'm almost 50 and I love anime. Oh, girl.
Do you know do you know why I'm saying that?
Yeah, because in the video, I was like, as a grown man, why are you watching anime? Or grown men don't watch anime or some shit. Some shit like that. Maybe not the same stuff you guys watch, but I still love it. I grew up with the classics like Go-Go 13. The hell's that? Ghost in the Shell, Akira, Ninja Scrolls, Robotech, and Voltron. Those sound old school as hell.
Voltron's old as hell.
As Nero said, Game of Thrones is the best television series of all time.
It is.
It is not.
It is.
Breaking Bad's better. Anyway,
Breaking Bad.
You have to give it at least one full season to fully, truly understand the show. After that, it's an exhilarating ride that you won't want to quit.
See?
It's a slow burn for a reason, but the payoff is unparalleled.
Do you know what it is? AJ's brain's fried, right? So he wakes up at 7 a.m. and doom scrolls instantly. His brain's fried. So he calls out slow, but you literally told me this morning that you woke up and you doom scrolled.
Oh, so we're lying now.
Okay. So I'm like, get out. Literally get out.
My brain is fried, but that show is terrible. So you're not really getting the gist of the show until at least 4 episodes in. I was 4 episodes in. I'm just saying, do yourself a favor and at least watch the first season. Love you both. You guys are both amazing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Much appreciation to you, sir.
Man, those are some old-ass animes, bro. I don't know any other grown men watching anime, to be fair.
You know, I realize men can't do a lot. We can't go for brunch. We can't have a bottomless brunch. We can't have a strawberry daiquiri.
I was gonna say we can't have desserts.
Nah, I hear the dessert.
Nah, bro, what?
Nah, I hear the dessert.
An Oreo waffle.
You can't be a grown man getting an Oreo waffle.
An Oreo waffle.
Nah, Oreo waffle is cool. Strawberry. No. We can't go out and you're getting a strawberry crepe. We're not doing that. Like have some manners. Have some respect. We're not doing that.
Yes,
We're not doing that. That's crazy. Or eating strawberry ice cream.
Yes, we are.
I love me an Oreo waffle, man.
Yeah.
Do what you love.
You ever get in a strawberry waffle?
I don't really deviate from my desserts. You know me. Oreo waffle or a STP.
Sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah. I know the Americans are going to be like, oh, what?
My favorite type of dessert, me personally, is like a cheesecake. I really do love a cheesecake.
Yeah, okay.
I really do love the cheesecake. All right. Nah, cheesecake's great. Or apple crumble.
I'm not a fan of cheese like that.
You like mac and cheese?
Surprisingly, but I don't really like cheese. I think if I had to eat mac and cheese by itself, I wouldn't eat it.
That's outrageous.
Seriously.
No. If there's someone who does that, you're outrageous. But people eat mad combinations of food out here.
People just eat blocks of cheese. Like, they'll cut cheese and just eat that. My sister does that. People do that, bro. Guarantee in the comments, people will be like, yeah, I do that all the time.
There's no fucking way.
Like when people drink milk by itself. You know, just
Ooh.
See,
pour a glass of
Are
milk.
you malnourished? We're not doing that, bro. Like
Very.
you can't be an adult drinking a glass of milk. That's just insane. You look like you look crazy. That's crazy.
Glass of milk, bro. What?
Any other comments? Get that confirmation.
95 baby here, and we definitely writing letters to each other growing up, but we didn't always mail them. We brought them to each other in class or got a friend to deliver it. That's risky as hell, nigga. If I was your friend and you gave me a letter,
I'm reading that shit. I'm reading that shit.
You crazy.
If AJ gives me a letter to get to a thing that he wants to chat to you, I'm gonna be like,
he's gonna read it, give it to him, and be like, yo, do it again.
or I might give it back to you. I might be like, you can't say this.
Y'all don't know what you're missing. That adrenaline while waiting for them to write a letter back was intense. Bring back writing letters and watch what happens.
What will happen?
Bring back writing letters.
Let me tell you what will happen in 2020.
As somebody who loves to write, as an avid journaler who does like letter writing exercises, bringing back writing letters, it's so like intimate, it's so personal, it's so special. Like it hits way harder than a text message or even a phone call sometimes, because it allows you to like really lay everything out. And where attention flow, I gotta get that saying down, because I say it every day and I never say it right, but it's something to the extent of where attention goes, energy flows. So you're putting more time and attention and energy into this piece when you have to write it, and then the person who receives it is putting more time and energy into it as they are reading it and digesting it. So it makes everything a little bit deeper. Bring back letters.
26. If you start writing things letters, she'll be like, "Oh," then she'll go reply to some other niggas DM. That was literally what's gonna happen.
No, she'll make a TikTok about you.
Yeah.
Saying this lame ass broke ass nigga wrote me a letter. What, he can't afford a phone?
That's
Can't afford no internet to fucking.
No, those screenshot that and put it on Twitter, call you broke, is crazy. You think you're doing some romantic thing?
Yeah.
She's like, type of nonsense is this? He's
This
writing
nigga got no data.
and he can't even read his handwriting. And his pen, like, it's not working. I can see where it start working. Like, he must have no money. You think you're doing something sweet? It's a different world. It's a different world we're living in out here.
Hi, Ari. I'm your personal tutor. We have lots to cover today.
All right, cool. So, the second way to stay connected towards or to your desired reality is stop checking reality for confirmation. And isn't this something we all do?
That's so fucking hard, bro. That's so hard, because it's essentially like if you plant in something, you can't keep digging it up to make sure it's growing. But my goodness, it'd be like, is it happening? Like, is it happening? But that energy of questioning is what's taking you out of the energy of being, of knowing. Like, so just be cool, be confident, and just know. Just know it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's the only way it's going to happen, because it's happening.
We all do this. So we look for signs. We always look for signs. You check a dashboard or something. You refresh your email. Come on. Your email's looking back at you like, bro, you've refreshed me 50 times, bro. Nothing's come through. You can stop this at this point. We check reality for confirmation. When the truth of the matter is, if you want to stay connected to your desired reality, then you have to understand the only place your desired reality truly exists is within. And that's a bar right back down.
It's the only place.
Now, you're probably thinking, what do you mean by that? Well, you have to think about it like this. Your desired reality in of itself, as a material thing, doesn't exist. The materiality of what you want. You want more money, you want a job, you want a promotion, certain point in your business, that's the material. But the material is an illusion. The material is a reflection of what? Of your frequency. And frequency begins with emotion. Because think about it like this. I always say to spiritual people, they often have this idea that it's your thoughts that create reality. Your thoughts are a small part of it. But you have to understand, even when people quote, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, they often say, as a man thinketh, so is he. That's not the actual scripture. The actual scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart. And that's because the body produces two electromagnetic fields, one from the brain, one from the heart. One from the heart is 60 to 100 times more powerful than the one of the brain. Your heart quite literally has its own memory. That's why we say, I know that song often. Because think about it like this. I always say to spiritual people, they often have this idea that it's your thoughts that create reality. Your thoughts are a small part of it. But you have to understand, even when people quote, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, they often say, as a man thinketh, so is he. That's not the actual scripture. The actual scripture says, as a man...
They let it take stuff. Don't be cutting stuff. Give me the whole thing and let me discern what I need and take what I need. Don't summarize nothing for me. Sick of it. They always give you the wrong part of the quote.
Think of in his heart. And that's because the body produces two electromagnetic fields, one from the brain, one from the heart. One from the heart is 60 to 100 times more powerful than the one of the brain. Your heart quite literally has its own memory. That's why we say, I know that song off by heart. Exactly. I know that song off by heart. Because our heart, it has a memory storage of its own, has its own neural networks, so on and so forth. Now, you have to understand one thing in particular. Your desired reality as a material thing, if that's what you're seeking, then you're going to be wrong. Because if you're chasing the physical is a reflection of the internal, as within, as without, on heaven. Wait, is it on earth as it is in heaven, as within, as without? Allah does not change conditions of the people until they change what is within themselves. There's even a hadith that says there's one part of the body that if it becomes rotten, the whole body is rotten, and that's the heart. And you have to understand, Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart because life springs from it. Your heart is a very powerful source of creation. And we can see your heart's a very powerful source of creation when we think about emotion, because an individual only has to go through a traumatic experience once for their entire mind, their entire perception to be completely re-altered. And that's on the negative side of things. Things exist in duality.
Like, ain't that some shit? Like, your brain can go through numerous attacks every day, every minute of every hour, and it's just like, all right, we cool, we still thugging. Let your heart go through one. Shit stops. World stops turning. That's wild. That is wild. And that's why I feel like God is love. Also, when you think about like the color green, I feel like half the world is green, right? When you're looking at it from like a global perspective, I think it was like 70% water and 30% earth. At least that's how it was when I was back in school. I don't know what it is nowadays. But you know, you see a lot of greenery. Green is the color of the heart chakra, the heart space. Green is the frequency of love. The planet is covered in green. It's vastly covered in green. Love is all around us. And it also makes sense as far as like, just based off what he said, the way that one thing can impact the heart so vastly and so deeply. It shows you just how sensitive it is, but the law of polarity, just as sensitive as it is strong. That's why self-love is the key, because you are a universe within yourself, as he stated. So if your universe is sufficient in love, then the universe is around you. If you think of yourself as the sun in this moment, the planets revolving around you will be benefiting from that love and learning from that love. And they can't just be succubus. They have to be embodying love themselves. That's why self-love is the key to unlock shit that we couldn't believe.
So if it exists in a negative context, it exists in a positive context, which is what we'll be doing to create your desired reality, which is creating a positive, emotional, intense charge that enters the subconscious behind what it is that you want to manifest, being something that you already possess. So, like I said, your desired reality truly exists within. If you think your desired reality exists outside of you, then you're always going to be separate from it. And if you're separated from your desired reality, then that goes against the concept of you can only have what you already have. Let me say it to you different. You can only have what it is that you want if you can find it within yourself. Now, that's a book by a man named Robert A. Russell. Amazing book. You can read, let's get the audio book on YouTube for free. Amazing book. You can have what you want if you can find it within yourself, because within yourself is where it truly exists. See, the universe understands that the physical plane isn't necessarily a real thing. So why do you have so much respect for something that isn't even real like that? And this isn't to say that you should just go out through life like it's GTA and just, start doing a man thing. I'm not saying do a man thing. I'm simply saying that you have to begin to understand the nature of reality, the nature of the physical plane. It's a reflection, it's an illusion. And we know it's an illusion. Various cultures have documented this. In Islam, it's referred to as the dunya. In the Hindus, it's referred to the word of Maya. The scientists will tell you we see 0.0035%.
I always say my name means illusion. My name is Maya. I didn't know it was of Hindu origin, but illusions. Because everything that exists in this physical world, once it started from a state, I think that's the first law in the Kabbalion. All is mind, all is mental. Everything that exists here started in the mind. We are currently living in God's mind, which is why anything and everything is possible.
Actually exist through visible light, refraction, bouncing into our eyes, so on and so forth. The physical plane isn't that real.
And when you think about the effect of perception, which psychology does a good job of teaching too, psychology, at least when I got my bachelor's, there was a whole class on like the eyes. And that's a testament to the fact of how much what you see and what you perceive, your perception is what creates your world, like creates the thoughts that you think or influences the thoughts that you think, which influences what you see around you.
But you think it is. And because you think it is, the universe is like, this nigga has no fucking clue. He has no clue.
And in that same nature, this is good. In that same nature, right? Two people can be looking at the same color and see different shit. You got color blindness. You got different things that make you perceive the world differently. It's just like, that's why nothing really is, nothing really isn't, because it's only real to you based on your perception of it. Like me looking at this is green to me, but somebody who's colorblind not going to see that. So I can't say that this is, but we can, because we have like a consensus on it and everybody believes it and everybody subscribes to it. So the person who doesn't see this as green is considered an outlier. Whole time is just like, you can't say that their reality isn't true, because it's the absolute truth for them. This shit is not green to them. It's whatever they see. Which is why it don't really make sense to have all these debates and wars on what's right, what's wrong, what is, because nothing's not nothing. Like, everything is everything.
There's no clear or. So like I said, your desired reality only exists within. So if your desired reality only exists within, why are you checking for confirmation outside? Because when you seek for confirmation outside, you are separated from your desired reality, because the only way that you're going to attain what you want is if you can reach that point internally of already possessing it. But if you're looking over there, then your attention is over there, so you're not looking at within. And if you're not looking at within, then you're unaware of how within is creating over there. That was a bit trippy. But nonetheless, we often check for confirmation of reality. We often check again and again and again, because what is it that you're looking for when you check for confirmation? Checking for confirmation is just checking for nothing more than the emotions you'd feel in your desired reality.
That's so true.
Now, what are the emotions you'd feel?
That's so true. That's so true. Checking for validation is like, okay, so let me go see this and see if it gives me that feeling that I want to feel in my desired reality. Whole time it's like you could just X out the middleman and just feel that feeling. Fuck.
In your desired reality. Because if you can reverse engineer that, then you got half the job done. See, most people just think, I want more money. I want that relationship. I want a promotion. I want a job. But the truth of the matter is, if you want those things, that's fine, but you can't want and have at the same time. The truth of the matter is, if you want those things to truly want you, then you have to possess what it is that they want. What do they want, Nero? What is the money that I want? What is the relationship that I want? All of those things want one thing. frequency. Because you have to understand, the universe works on a resonance. It works on correspondence. When you have the matching frequency for the physical things, I want this, I want that, I want them. The issue is you want it, so you're looking for confirmation outside of you. When you're looking for confirmation in an illusion. How else could you not be led into delusion? It makes no sense. You're looking for confirmation in an illusion. That makes no sense. Now, here's what you actually should do. What you should do is quite simple. You should get the confirmation from within. So whenever you catch yourself looking for confirmation, because remember, when you look for confirmation outside of you, you disconnect from the Wi-Fi of your desired reality. You disconnect from the Wi-Fi of your desired reality. When you catch yourself wanting to get confirmation, the first place you should turn to is within. Hence why my definition of manifestation is simple. Manifestation is internally shifting to a degree to which you're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. You're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. Once again, internal shift. Anytime that you're focused on the external, you're ruining the process of manifestation. You get the confirmation from within. So when you see yourself or you can feel yourself or catch yourself out looking for confirmation, the first thing that you should do is go within and cultivate what it is that you really want. If you still think what you want is the money, then you still don't get it. If you think what you want is the person, you still don't get it. And that's fine if you don't get it. It has nothing to do with me. You're going to stay on this hamster wheel forever, right? You're going to be watching manifestation videos for the next 40 years of your life. Assuming you don't want that, and I don't want that for you, I want you to fuck off eventually, right? One thing that you have to come to a realization of is that when you're seeking confirmation outside of you in terms of checking reality for confirmation that it's working, what that is a true indication of is that your mind isn't solidified in the idea that you already possess what it is that you want. Agent, you're wearing a t-shirt and a hoodie.
Yes.
Do you need to check that you're wearing a hoodie?
No.
Why?
I know I'm wearing the hoodie.
His mind already possesses the idea that he already has the hoodie. But if you were checking if you had a hoodie,
This just so true to me. Like the way that that's why I love psychology. Like, because certain things, like, this is also a law stated in the Kabbalah, and I forget which one it is, but basically, like, as above, so below. And generally, like, what's true in the macro is true in the micro. So when you do like a simple experiment, like I was showing y'all with the marker and seeing different perspectives, like he just did with the hoodie. Like, do you need to look and check that you got clothes on? No, because you know you have clothes on, right? That's the basis of it. That's the truth of it. And it just get a little tricky, these are emotions. It used to be a little tricky, a little scary to just have so much faith, but that's why God is love, right? And love and fear cannot exist in the same space. Just like he said, one and a half cannot exist in the same space. So that little bit of fear, that little bit of anxiety, like, quiet it, just release it and let it go, and have full trust and love, full faith in God, and know that what you intend to happen is what's happening. I sure.
John, what would that mean?
I wasn't sure.
Exactly. And if you're unsure, unfortunately, the universe interprets a confused mind as a scrambled frequency, a distorted frequency, an unclear frequency. The universe only responds to crystal clear clarity. And if you don't have crystal clear clarity surrounding the frequency that you're emitting to the universe because you're unsure if you really have it or not, one moment you're visualizing you got it, then you're checking for confirmation. You're scrambling and distorting your frequency to such a degree that the universe doesn't even know what this person is sending. And guess what? When the universe can't pick up your frequency, it just says, I'm going to just give him the signals, the frequency that we've been accustomed to, which is your default old frequency. Anytime that you catch yourself looking for confirmation, you have to understand what you really want. What you really want isn't the material, because the material is an illusion and you know that. What you truly want is the emotions you'd feel in your desired reality. So anytime that you feel yourself looking for confirmation outside of you, look within to cultivate the emotions you'd feel in your desired reality. Go do a visualization. Go do whatever your process is, because the techniques don't actually fucking matter. The techniques in and of themselves are irrelevant. Techniques don't work. You activate techniques predicated upon the conviction that you have in the technique. Why does visualization work for one person? Why does affirmation work for one person? Scripting work for one person? Why? It's because people have conviction behind different techniques, because conviction brings into play emotion. Emotion enters the subconscious mind more easily than anything. Conviction is the only technique. And that's a bar I write down. And if conviction is the only technique, then any time as you're looking for confirmation, that's an indication you're lacking conviction. And if you're lacking conviction, then you're lacking strength in your frequency, because the thing about conviction is that it strengthens the frequency that you're outputting to the universe. So if you catch yourself looking for confirmation, then you should check that as a check engine light to check your fucking engine and fill up the car with more petrol, diesel, electric, if you're one of them. Electricity, it's fine. But that's what you should do. Never turn to the world for security, because if you turn to an illusion for security, you're going to be insecure.
This man is...
Tom Ogle drove 200 miles on only 2 gallons of gasoline.
Royal Raymond...
That's a bar right there.
Someone put a timestamp of 25 minutes, 59 seconds. They said, Auntie Age Nero listener here.
An auntie aged Nero listener.
Yeah.
Let me put down my, so I can show you the proper respect that you deserve.
What age is auntie age?
So that's a political question.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
That's a you might have set some people in here.
We'll get into that. Yes, we did have the internet, but not everyone had an email address. Most people weren't as tech savvy as they are today. Plus, we're still connected. We were still connecting with dial-up or early generation broadband. What's dial-up?
What's
that telephone?
Dial-up, the internet.
I don't even know what that is. Some people considered writing a letter as just as good. I started college in 2000.
I don't know why he's laughing.
I was born in 2000.
I was born in 2001.
So you wasn't even conceived yet?
No, I wasn't.
No,
I was conceived, but I hadn't entered the physical plane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a few of my teachers would only let us use 1 or 2 sources from the internet because they didn't consider it as a credible source. I'm in the States, by the way. I love you and AJ. You're always on time with the discussion.
Nigga, look at the internet now. Is it a credible source? It's like it came full circle. Because at first it didn't have enough information to be a credible source. Now it's like an overload of information for it to be a credible source.
That helps me out in my current phase of manifestation. I've also recommended you to my adult son, and he started listening and gained some wisdom too.
Why is dial-up?
I don't know. What age is auntie aged?
Political one, so
that won't get you in trouble.
Yeah, that'll get. I know there's some women watching, like, I dare you. We can talk unk age. Nigga, if you're over 30, you're an unk, mate. Yeah.
So that guy that said he's 50 watching anime, what's he?
That's an unk right there. That might even be a granddad.
I was gonna say that's past unk.
Yeah, that's past unk.
So your granddad watches anime? Nah, man.
That's a crazy sentence. What should he be doing though?
I don't know, man. What did granddads play back in the day? What's that game on the computer?
My granddad's game is reading the Bible. I don't know how to do that.
Play like chess or something.
So you're gonna be when we're 50, you're gonna be playing chess.
I'll play chess with you.
You can't even fucking play chess now.
I'll learn how to play chess.
Oh, by then you're 50.
Yeah, I'm 50. Like, what else am I gonna do?
So we're gonna be playing Scrabble and shit.
Yeah. And word puzzles and whatever else.
Now you're Jamaica, we'll play dominoes.
Hey, dominoes will never get old, man.
Why are you saying auntie ages?
Obviously, I don't want to get too deep into that one still. Anyway, I've already said enough about anime, man. And Game of Thrones, I've had enough.
You don't want any more hate?
I'll be the most hated.
Nah, you're never auntie age. You're forever youthful. Forever. You know what I'm saying?
Good answer.
You know what I'm saying?
Good answer.
Nero, I just finally get it. I finally get it.
What is it that you get?
Last week, I manifested free access to 10K worth of product. What do you mean by product, though?
Yeah, what do you mean by product?
10K worth of product.
That can
That's
mean
a good flip.
That can mean a lot.
Despite the fact that I don't have the capacity to even pay for the special deals on installment, right now that product is on specials for $3,000, but usually generously priced at $5,000 in the marketplace. I was picked to do a live demo, and despite having so many people call me a legend and amazing, I had comments saying, Patty sounds like a plant, because I was so confident. I fell asleep every night to the best of my ability in the state of wish fulfilled. Then in my waking hour, I'd listen to my inner intuition really well and take action fast. Then I felt frustrated, confused, or want repeated reassurance by something. I'd come back and rewatch Nero's video on that topic. Absolutely works. Thank you. What product, though? Well, I don't understand why you didn't say the products, Patty.
It was a bit suspicious, isn't it, Patty?
Yeah, Patty, I don't know, man.
I don't know. 10K worth of product.
And you're telling me it's normally priced at like 5K and the special.
I know some products that are priced at that price.
Fuck is that,
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, shout out to Patty though.
Patty saying she got called a plant. Crazy.
You're calling us a plant.
When?
2 years ago?
Fess.
Yeah.
If I didn't know you, I'd call you a plant too.
What?
I'm like, this nigga grew 100K subs in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Basically, it's a plant still.
It's a bit suspicious. It is a plant. It's still a bit suspicious, isn't it?
You guys shit together. What? Nah, he's a plant from the UK. Nah, something's up here. They must have sent him there from somewhere else.
Yeah, he's not really from the UK. He's from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
I felt compelled to comment with some history. LOL.
Oh, this is about to be another.
This must be the 90s or the 80s, guys. One, not only could people smoke inside of the clubs, but even restaurants had smoking or non-smoking
There's
areas.
no ways. You could smoke in a restaurant.
Imagine smoking in.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Even if you have a non-smoking area and a smoking area, smoke is such a strong smell that surely you would
could smell that from everywhere.
That's crazy.
Your clothes would just smell like smoke. Anyway, it was essentially like having a pissing area in a swimming pool. Didn't make a lick of a difference once you're in there long enough.
Yeah, I thought
Two,
so.
when you ask about how did people send pictures, people did not just print them out at home until digital cameras became more popular. They had to.
I feel like there's so many things in the world like that like it just don't make no sense. But if enough people feed into it and just start accepting it, it becomes a thing. And then when you start to speak up and talk about how the shit still don't make sense just because you accepted it, it starts to offend people's egos, like politics, for example, democracy and republicanism and all that dumb shit. He said having a smoking area in a restaurant is like having a pissing area in a pool. When you break it down so simple, like, what? What? Like, makes no sense, but everybody subscribed. Not everybody, but majority of people subscribed to it, and it was normal, and it was a thing. Imagine having a pissing area in a pool. But you thought that you could, how do you it's not even like the smoking area was like inside of a little glass box or nothing like that. And that's who would hotbox cigarettes. You might not make it out that box, but to call it a smoking area as if nobody else in the area is getting affected, that's wild.
Drop the film off and have it developed at a photo printing service. So they really had to be about that life and not care if other people
Hold on. So let's say you're sending nudes, yeah? Let's say you're sending nudes to a thing. You gotta take the photo. Then you go to a shop.
Hand the film.
And the guy behind the counter, he'll just be like, your photos. And it's just a mad photo.
bro.
That's about it. That's about
People was
it. So
probably,
Unless they had a
I'm assuming people was probably less horny back then. People probably wasn't sending nudes. People was probably more romantic and writing letters and shit. Nowadays, it's just like take your phone out and do some freaky shit. But back then, it was probably a little bit more thought put into stuff.
photo developing setup at home, but that was
photo
But that was
developing
quite a
setup at
commitment.
home.
that's insane. That's like having your own server in your yard and then fucking hosting shit.
Yo,
No one does that.
the people that work at the photo print shop back then must have seen mad things. They must have seen
Nah, for real.
They must have seen mad things. Can you imagine? You go home and be like, listen, I saw some crazy photos today. You don't believe what I saw. Because remember, this is a generation that didn't have internet, so you lot had to entertain. Is that the comment done?
Yeah.
Cool. The next way that you stay, now, if you remember at the start of the video, I say how to stay connected to your desired reality no matter what life throws at you, no matter the whirlwinds that life attempts to throw at you. And one of the most common whirlwinds that life will throw at you naturally is adversity. But the first realization that you have to come to is adversity is an ally. And that's a bar, write that down. See, you have to go beyond and transcend the way that you've been accustomed to react and perceive reality if you want to go above your current circumstance. See, the issue is we attempt to go to a new reality while still reacting to the old frequency. That doesn't make any sense. It's often said, I'm stealing this from one of you lot that said this in the comments. I'm not giving you any credit at all. Someone said something, they commented, you can't open new doors with old keys.
I remember that.
That's
I
a
remember.
bar there. That's a bar.
That's a bar still.
Now, that's the exact concept that I'm referring to here. Because one thing that you have to understand is that most of us are conditioned to see adversity as a sign that something is going wrong, once again. But the belief that you need to keep and remain centered within is all paths lead to your desired reality. Everything serves you. Even adversity is an ally. Because the truth of the matter is, there are few truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. We often think the path to our desired reality is just going to be a straight path like this. We often think we just walk on a straight path. But naturally, the universe does what it does, and we may go on a different path. Now, when most people see a different path, they interpret that path as a sign of something going wrong. Now, predicated upon the truth that there are few truths other than the subconscious mind accepts as true, when you decide that it's a certain detour or an alternate path or going through the alleyway or a different way, when you see that as something wrong, you then actually make wrong. Remember, it's your interpretation, your perception that it's wrong that actually ends up creating wrong, even if there is no wrong. That literally is what happens to most people. But if you stay centered within the idea that all paths lead towards your desired reality, then what do you really have to be worried about? Really think about what I just said. Really think about what I just said. If you've been in the frequency of your desired reality and you've been embodying what it is that you want, then when things don't go the way that you think that they should, which oftentimes it's our idea of how things should happen that actually stop things from unfolding for us. And that's a bar of that down. Your idea of how things should unfold is coming from your finite, limited mind. In order for you to materialize what it is that you want, you need to go beyond this third dimensional realm and center yourself within to the infinite, because the infinite can conceive an infinite amount of ways that things can unfold. Have you ever realized when things unfold, they tend to unfold in a way that you didn't expect or in a way that you didn't think they were going to? So why would you attempt to decide how things are going to unfold? Because even when you decide how things are going to unfold, you require the infinite to manifest, but then you're deciding and micromanaging God. Does that make sense to micromanage God? Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't make any sense. Does it make sense for the limited to micromanage the unlimited? No, by no stretch of the imagination does that make sense. So then one thing that you have to keep into your mind is the understanding that all paths lead towards your desired reality. Everything serves you. Because see, what typically happens is that when we experience adversity, we decide that life is against us. And when you decide that life is against you, life then naturally enters a state of disharmony. Because you're deciding that the universe is against you. And because you've solidified within the frequency and the idea that life is against you, life then actually ends up being against you. Not because it was necessarily against you. Remember what I said, few things in life actually have meaning. Most of the meaning that we experience in life is predicated upon the labels that we attribute to life. So when something happens, it's neutral for the most part. For the most part, it's neutral. But then when you say that, fuck, this is a sign that life is against me and something's going wrong, you then take adversity from being a potential ally and make it something that's against you. And when
before he even gets to the next one, because I know he about to drop some good shit. I think that's what living in the frequency of abundance is all about, is realizing that life is not really so hard. Life is not really so anything. Like, it's just shit that you like and things that you don't like. That's it. And that's all. And you can train yourself to like more things than you don't like. And that increases your abundance because you're making yourself less restrictive to things. Or even if the things that you don't like, you just don't care about them. You don't have to reserve an energy of hate or disdain towards it because you're limiting yourself, weighing yourself down with excess heavy energy. Just surround yourself with stuff that you like. Like
it's you against you, that's God against you. And that's a bar, write that down. And when God's against you, and make it something that's against you. And when it's you against you, that's God against you. And that's a bar.
When it's you against you, that's God against you. That's a fact. 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 I gotta chew this. I gotta digest this one.
I'll write that down. And when God's against you,
you're never gonna win.
You're finished. It's over. One thing that you have to keep in mind is that all paths lead towards your desired reality. If you can keep that in mind, all paths lead to my desired reality, all paths lead to my desired reality, then what will you truly have to fear? What will you truly have to worry about? See, oftentimes worry, fear, anxiety, all of those things are predicated upon the unknown. But what's unknown about it if you know that all paths lead towards your desired reality? And if it's the unknown that produces anxiety, fear, and worry, once you know, there's nothing to worry about. But how could you know that if you don't consistently remind yourself of that?
It's the consistent reminders.
It was said by Christ.
Reminders. It's the consistent reminders. I was just on the phone with a friend and we were talking about like communication and things being a consistent reminder. And sometimes your ego rejects it in that energy of like, I know this, I know this, I know this. But yeah, you do know, but you still need those consistent reminders.
Bless those who curse you. Oftentimes, most people have a default reaction to reality. And when you have a default reaction to reality, unfortunately, don't be surprised when you materialize a default reality. See, the collective consciousness practically all live the same. And it's because they still operate at the same level of consciousness, same degree of frequency, same self-concept, same identity, same mental attitudes. And the way that they react to reality is all practically within resonance. You need to start living life by default and live by design. And that's what I write that down. But in order for you to live by design, you have to go beyond the, what's the word? Societal norms, is that the word? I guess you have to go beyond the collective consciousness typical default reactions, which would mean instead of perceiving adversity as something against you, instead of saying that setback is a bad thing, instead of saying that delay is a bad thing, that thing not happening when you want it to be a bad thing, if you can remain centered within the idea that no matter what happens, all paths lead towards your desired reality, everything serves you, then guess what? You stop adversity from being something that's against you and you allow it to unfold and actually be something that serves you. The only prerequisite to the universe serving you is the permission that you need to give to yourself that everything serves you. You ever seen those people that things just seem to work out for them? No matter what happens, they just bounce back, or things unfold, or something that was terrible begins to unfold for them in a way that works? It's because they're rooted in the idea that everything serves them. Everything contributes to their desired reality. And in that instance, then the entire game of reality becomes demystified. There's actually nothing to worry about. Even the quiet periods of business, if you decide that all paths lead to one place and everything serves your desired reality, then eventually it has no choice but to. Even if you go on a date with some fucking idiot and it just goes left, right? It just goes terrible. If you decide that serves you and that contributes towards your desired reality, it will. Even if you go on a date, something that's against, then the entire game of reality becomes demystified. There's actually nothing to worry about. Even the quiet periods of business, If you decide that all paths lead to one place and everything serves your desired reality, then eventually it has no choice but to. Even if you go on a date with some fucking idiot and it just goes left, right? It just goes terrible. If you decide that serves you and that contributes towards your desired reality, it will. Not getting that job has to serve you, contribute towards your desired reality. Maybe not getting that promotion when you wanted, maybe not making the money that you wanted. If you stay rooted in the idea that every detour is still a path towards your desired reality and everything serves you, there's actually nothing to worry about in this universe. Don't get it twisted though. If I hear someone in my house, I'm gonna be worried.
And mind you, this is nowhere near my first time coming in contact with this type of information. This is the shit that I know, but this is a great reminder. So I definitely love this channel. I will be doing some more reviews on this channel because honestly, I was just going to watch it. Like when I eat, I like to watch stuff. But like I told you, I'm not going to just be consuming content without making content because at this point, that's not what I want to do. So I'm like, we're going to watch this together. And why not tap into this type of energy more often? I love this. I love this. If you decide that all paths lead to your desired reality, it has no choice but to. And this is something that I know for sure. Like everything is always working out for your good. Everything is always working out for my good. Everything is always working out for my good because I'm good. I'm God. Why wouldn't it? Like.
Nero, I've been watching your videos for about a year now. I've also been into manifestation for about 4 years now, and it's been an up and down. As the guy said before, if you're watching Nero, binge watching Nero, your life's cooked. Manifesting some things and not manifesting some things. 2 years ago, I wrote a specific car that I wanted to manifest. I eventually let it go and forgot about it. When my current car's finance was finished, I was looking for a new car. My friend who's in finance and offered me a similar car to the one I wanted, and I accepted it. He then said that the car was gone and he had an alternative. The exact car I wrote down 2 years ago, same model and all. Yeah. The way it unfolded was nothing like I imagined. But
what did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just say?
But that's when I realized you have to just live from the end and not get attached to how it unfolds. When I got the car, I wasn't even excited like I thought. I was more calm like I expected it. I was more happy about me being able to communicate with the universe than the car itself. That's a boss, though. I know you're going to say it's all me, but you and AJ deserve credit, legends.
Nah, it's all you, bro.
Nah, for real, it's all you still. Ben said he was more happy about how we could communicate to the universe than the car itself. Fez.
This shit is so cool. I feel like because I be consuming a lot of content, that makes me already 50% content creator. And that's why I feel like this field is one of the best things that could have happened. I always say that I feel like I was born in the, well, no, I'm not gonna lie because I used to feel like I was born in the wrong time, but low-key, I was born in the perfect time because this is like born in 99 where technology and everything kind of was first booming and YouTube and all of that had really like started to like get dug in. Nowadays, like children is born YouTube kids. But I would say as a young child, I can't even put an age on it because the way that my mind in the fourth dimension, this should be, it's like one of the hardest ones for me to work with. But the fact that we are all pretty much connoisseurs of content consumption just makes it so much easier for us to flip that script and be content creators. And the fact that you can now receive the benefits, the rewards, the value from consuming content by creating content, by literally like, it's like a instant alchemization process that brings you coins. Like, I love this shit.
I'll make love to you.
You gotta stop playing that. I'm not going to listen to nothing else he say next because the song going to be in my head. Let's try not to get distracted.
Want me to, and I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I'll make love to you like you want me
to.
And I will not let go till you tell me to. And I hold you.
Yo, big
We
up
do
you
that because
guys.
you know people got short attention span.
Okay.
Music break.
Big up
You
you
might hit
guys
one too.
are funny.
Oh, you're just struggling to read again.
Big up you guys. What? Big up
Alignment
you
is
guys are well
fragile.
funny. Oh,
Alignment is fragile. Like that's why we be feeling the need to tap in to the illusion of the physical world so often because it's like I know I'm in alignment right now, but it's very fragile and it could be like the blow of the wind could shift you. So sometimes you'll be feeling that need to peek out and be like, am I still in alignment? Am I still in alignment? But you gotta remember where attention goes, energy flows. So every time you look out there and you divert your attention from your alignment, that's exactly what you're doing. You're taking away energy from your alignment and you're drifting. So just don't drift. Stay focused, stay in alignment.
oh, you guys are well funny. He's British.
Yeah.
He's well funny and dropped mad game. I'm out of the channel now. I think as I'm already living my dream life and can't think of anything else I'd like to change about how I am to be anywhere else. I'm bigging up my inner child today. No, bro, I need you for the AdSense. Come back. You're not done here.
You're not done.
Watch some more content.
Yeah, nigga, you don't know enough.
Yeah, you don't know enough. We're dropping daily vids so you can stay in your frequency and shit. You know what I'm saying? Watch all of those.
Get me. You gotta stay humble, man. You never know enough information.
You said, come back. I need to view.
Bro said you men are well funny. Yes.
Any other ones? Come here, baby, and be my baby. And be my baby.
You're leaving money on the table. Not because your content isn't good, but because the tools you're using weren't built to help you earn sustainable revenue.
Shout out Nero and AJ. This channel has given real understanding of this manifestation shit. Achieved more tuning into this knowledge than anywhere else. I just wanted to thank you for all the reminders. Also, Nero, have more patience with AJ's opinions. He's just uncultured.
That's true. I should have more patience with you.
Bing bop, boom bop, beam bop, bam. Does that mean he cultured now? Hey.
AJ is an idiot.
Hey.
No, but you said a lot of questionable stuff.
Like what?
You called Marcus Garvey Marcus Gravy. And you also didn't know who Marcus Garvey was. And then you proceeded to disrespect Garvey.
I read the name wrong.
Have you read the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey yet? You still have not.
I've researched him.
Don't say what I think.
Exactly.
So that's your reasoning for not reading on the
No. That's not my reason, but you can't call me uncultured because I speak about the things the culture don't want to speak about. You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck? What are the things you speak about that the culture doesn't want to speak about?
The things I've seen about Marcus Garvey is just a bit crazy.
AJ,
tell me something else.
You know better than this. You know better than
propaganda.
Yes, propaganda, staining a man's legacy, who contributed so much to the intellectual thoughts of Pan-Africanism.
Yes.
And you're Jamaican.
What other moments am I uncultured?
I don't know. You said a lot. You didn't know Boondocks.
No, you're lying.
I'm thinking about over the span. I'm thinking about over the span of the videos.
You're lying.
You said a lot of questionable stuff.
I know Boondocks. I never really watched it. I knew it from
exactly.
back in sixth form because my friend was like, "Oh, you should watch this shit, bro."
Exactly. Like you just said a lot of questionable things.
Just because I don't watch cartoons and anime.
Historical show.
The hell? SpongeBob is good though. I like SpongeBob. Come on, bro. And Family Guy.
They will watch Family Guy, but not Boondocks.
The Cleveland Show. Come on, that's for the blacks. That's culture, right?
Did you say that's
for
the
blacks? The blacks. Oh my god. I wasn't going to say that. Eh? That's for the blacks.
Alignment is fragile.
Digress.
I don't know what we're gonna do with him, guys. Oh God. I honestly don't know what we're gonna do with him.
I think me and Dr. Umar would get along.
I don't think you would.
We gotta look at.
I don't think you would.
We gotta look at Rod videos. You just.
I don't think you would.
Funny.
Alignment is fragile. Now, whether you realize this or not, this is a belief that your mind holds unconsciously. Because how many times do you think to yourself that one bad thought is the end of everything? One bad mood is the end of everything. One bad reaction is the end of everything. One missed visualization is the end of everything. One missed meditation is the end of everything. You seem to have this idea that alignment is fragile because you have this idea that a temporary moment can become your identity, and that is not true. Alignment is not fragile. But so long as you hold the belief that it is fragile, then naturally it's going to be something that you grab and it's going to be something that drops. It's going to be something you touch and then it's going to be something that disappears throughout your hands. What if alignment wasn't fragile? But what if alignment is stable? Because once again, you seem to have this idealized notion of your desired reality, that everything in your desired reality would be 10 out of 10. You'd be 10 out of 10. The desired reality would be 10 out of 10. You never have problems. It would look like, you know what I mean? It would just look like the happiest thing. It would look like sunshines and rainbows. That's what you seem to have in your head. You think that you never have a bad thought. You seem to think that you never have a bad mood. You seem to think you never have a bad reaction. And it's that idealization of your desired reality that actually keeps you separated from it. Because the truth of the matter is, alignment isn't fragile. It's only as fragile as you hold the idea that a temporary moment can become your identity. Because like I said, we have these instances where we slip up. When you slip up, you decide that you're finished and it's over and all your progress is ruined. And it's that idea that your old frequency wants to capitalize upon to disconnect you from your desired reality. But if you hold the idea that you are forever aligned, then you no longer have to perform for alignment. Because see, right now in your head, alignment is something you have to perform for. It's something that you have to do something for. It's something you got to move around for, and you got to keep it real happy. But no, that is not the case. Alignment is not fragile at all. But remember what I said, there are few truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. So once you hold the subconscious notion that alignment is fragile, unconsciously, and it's not this thought directly, but you treat it as if it's something that could just drop at any single moment. But what if it's not? What if it's not something that could drop at any moment? But what if the belief that it can drop at any moment is the thing that actually makes it fragile? That's not the case. It's not fragile. It's only as fragile as you decide that it is. So how many times have you said to yourself, I'm forever aligned? How many times have you had that belief that no matter what happens, you're forever aligned? No matter if you just slip up once and you crash out, I'm not talking about nothing crazy. You have a reaction of the old frequency. Your old frequency gets you down. You begin to go back into the force of your old frequency. You begin to realize beliefs, expectations. It's not an issue. Once again, it's not an issue so long as, I guess, you don't treat it like an issue.
I'm gonna see if I got any more. I think this might. Oh no, hold on. Hey Nero, the last couple of weeks have been insane in terms of manifestation. I was wanting to read more books, and a few days later, I won a competition at college where I received a Kindle. I was also
so cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
That's it. I was also manifesting a card, and then won a couple days later. Oh, and then won a couple days later, basically for free. My life is changing, and I thank myself for being able to break out of certain limiting boxes I've placed myself in. But also a huge thanks to you for making this information so accessible for everyone.
It's a pleasure.
Someone else just got promoted to a senior position, opening business accounts at a credit union in California.
Oh, swear down, listen.
Yeah, listen. You got power.
You know what I'm saying? We can make a deal with me and you at a credit union.
The youngest and only melanated in this type of position. No degree, no certifications. I mean, it's not a good look for the melanated niggas, isn't it? But Fizz, just pure self-love and confidence.
AJ is a 10 out of 10 hater.
But pure self-love and confidence. When people question how, I tell them the frequency transcends logic.
Frequency defies reaction.
Shout out Nero. Happy Mother's Day to you and yours as well.
Happy Mother's Day to you, like, well, a bit late now.
Yeah, a bit late.
Bit late, you know.
I shout her out still. No degree, no certifications. Just out here in charge of credit union business account. Their stocks are going down after this bid.
Oh, shit.
Nah, I'm playing.
Don't be
That's actually cool.
don't be upset with AJ. He's just upset that Arsenal. What are they right now? Champions.
Premier League champions, Premier League winners.
He's very upset.
Time of this recording, they haven't played the final of the Champions League, so they could win the Champions League against PSG. If they beat PSG, I'm gonna...
It's nice outside. I got work to do.
AJ is a top tier hater. Congratulations on that promotion. Me and you, we're gonna have some conversations. Nothing illegal, though, I promise. All right, cool. The final thing is practicing stillness and relaxation. You have to understand that majority of us,
What did it say?
I think the one common denominator between, I've never met anyone who said, I want my desired reality to be chaotic. Like, everybody who I talk to, whether if you break down their desired reality to I guess, enough detail, what they truly want is relaxation. That's all we truly want. We want relaxation, stillness. You want more money in your business, so eventually you could relax. You want that promotion so you can make more money and relax. Or you want the status so you can relax. You want that relationship so you can relax. Relaxation is at the core of everything that we could ever want. Now, this gets deeper because if relaxation is one of the fundamental emotions that we want from our desired reality, then to get to our desired reality, it has to be an emotion that we stay occupied in. The more that you can occupy relaxation, the more that you indicate to the universe that you're already in your desired reality. And remember, you can only have what you already.
No, I used to feel like sometimes I get in the energy of like being impacted by external forces and feeling like, am I wrong for like not giving much of a fuck or like not being so energetically tied up in bullshit? But no, not at all. Like, because like I said before, there's systems in place that want to harvest your energy. How about I harvest my energy? You get to none. How about that? Makes sense to me. So that's why we always practice in meditation, stillness, breath work, getting in tune with self, and being calm, clear, and confident.
We have. But then it gets even deeper because relaxation, when you're in a state of relaxation, your brain enters a state called theta. Theta is a brainwave state that's 40.
But there's also a difference between, like, it takes time to get there. Like, you can present as calm and relaxed and still, but internally still be going through turbulence. And the more that you practice it, the more that the actual feeling of stillness and calmness and relaxation will set in. But don't get stuck in that energy of presenting, because that's a whole job in and of itself. You're better off just expressing how you truly feel.
8 hertz that unlocks the subconscious mind. When you're unlocking the subconscious mind day in, day out, you're being guided by the infinite. So as you're unfolding your desired reality, it'll be you being guided by the infinite so long as you can remain in a state of relaxation and stillness, because that relaxation and stillness does two things. It indicates to the universe that you're in your desired reality, which then leads to materialization of it, because remember, you can only have what you already have. But then secondly, you then operate from the subconscious mind in your day-to-day, which means the infinite is guiding you in your day-to-day. Stillness and relaxation is everything, because a chaotic mind cannot stay connected because the mind is scrambled. But in a clear, still, relaxed mind, through a series of meditations, just intentionally just doing nothing throughout the day, you relax yourself, you keep yourself calm and composed. Then, even as the boat is rocking, you stay in a composed state of mind, and eventually the boat rocking slows down because your mind is the boat and you're also the person that is in the boat. So relaxation is another way that you stay connected towards your desired reality. And it's actually a real thing that you actually have to intently plan into your life, because most of us see relaxation as a treat. And if you see a relaxation as a treat, then that means your desired reality will also be treated like a treat, no pun intended, as opposed to a normal reality. Because if you fast forward to your desired reality, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be in a state of relaxation. So you have to consciously, intently structure your day. I know people have their lives, so on and so forth, but you have to make time for relaxation. I can't stress that enough. One, so that the work that you're doing has an increased chance for entering your subconscious mind, because if your subconscious mind is open while you're doing the thinking from the end, feeling from the end, visualizing, it has more of a chance of entering your subconscious mind. And when it enters the subconscious mind, it enters reality. But then you have an increased likelihood of the universe picking up the signal that you're in a state of relaxation, to which it then associates that with your desired reality and then sends that. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you stay connected to your desired reality, no matter what life throws at you. Permanently.
That was beautiful. That was perfect. That was everything. Thank you, Neural Knowledge, for breaking that down. That was everything. I took so many notes. This is the second page. I got half a page and a half of notes, all full of mantras, full of one-liners that I could repeat to myself daily. My two favorites being conviction is the only technique and I am forever aligned. Yeah, I'm like, how we get to 2 hours? But that's because I kept pausing and talking. So let me see. The video was an hour and 15 minutes. All right, so that's mean it's about like 45. Okay, that's good though, because I don't want it to be like, even though I am recycling his content, but that's still 45 minutes of original content added. So I think that balances out, right? But drop a comment and let me know what y'all thinking. Let me know what notes y'all took, what resonated with you from what he shared and what I shared. Definitely give me a follow, give me a sub, depending on where you're seeing this, and I will be back. I will for sure be back. I'm about to do some work on building out the self-love library for the Patreon. So that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next part of the day. I'm thinking about doing it outside though. The sun did just go down, so it shouldn't be too hot, and I hope it ain't about to rain. So that's the vibes. I'll see y'all later. And if not, I will definitely see y'all tomorrow. Peace. And don't forget to live in love.